on your neck. Talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listening. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim, I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim, I'm gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mixing transfer news is what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jim always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue and let you stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. Always keeps a positive spin. What Kate's doing, the Mickey has her name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like let me stop rubbing, or she's flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping.
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Kate and Jimbo. I was going to say the perfect match then. We kind of are the perfect match. We're whatever you want to call us. But we're back on the last date of February, 28th of Feb. I don't know where this month's gone. Spring's nearly here, but with spring brings the end of the football season. That's how I always feel. When we get to March, I start to think, oh, it's not long now till the season ends. Not sure if that's a good thing or not, but we shall see. But I'm joined today, as always, by Jimbo and, of course, by Mr. Chang. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, darling. Very good. Looking forward to the show.
Good. Mr. Chang, how are you diddling?
Doing very, very well here in Southeast Asia in what is going to be a stress-free and a Spurs-free weekend. Absolutely looking to some downtime while we recharge ourselves for the crunch away first leg fixture against AZ Alkmaar. Much later on in the show, I think we're going to be previewing that a bit. But other than that, it's been a mixed bag of a midweek, but absolutely looking forward to the show with you, as always, Miss Kate. And let's get this show underway without further ado.
Exactly that. It is going to be a stress-free weekend. I was kind of dreading it being FA Cup, not being in it, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to not be stressed about what's going to happen at the weekend, to protect the grey hair and not get stressed anymore. I will just bring up this. Archie Gray last night honoured as the London Football Awards Young Player of the Year. I think a very, very well-deserved award. I think even rivals from going on Judge Mo the other day to the Terrace to all different rivals from all different teams can't get over just how good this guy is. I mean, Chang, he's got. I don't know anyone that could have won this award above him.
I mean, honestly, this season has been a bit of a revelation. A lot of people had their doubts about him when we signed him, but he is proving to be one of the better signings, if not the young signings of the season, of the summer. And yeah, I mean, so much of his attributes, his ability just reminds us so much of a very, very young Dele Alli when he first signed for us from, I think it was MK Dons, Delhi. So great to have Archie Gray for us from Leeds United. And here's to many more awards to him in the near future in a Spurs kit. Hopefully this does bode well for him for his England future, God willing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Jimbo, a lot of people are saying Archie Gray, future Spurs captain. Can you see it?
Yeah, definitely. He got a lot of stick, didn't he? Saying a waste of money and too much money, and I think he's paid back his fee already. Yeah, of course he could be a future captain. Let's hope we can keep hold of him.
Yeah, exactly that. It was a nice bit of news to see this morning when I was scrolling through my phone. So, yeah, congratulations, Archie, proving those haters, those doubters wrong, the ones that said he was a waste of money. That is a big one of them to them, which is always nice. But before we continue, let's have a look who's in the chat. We've got Steve RFC saying big up, good morning, afternoon to you. Drew Lala says, afternoon, Kate, Jimbo, chat, and Mr. Young Chang. Big up, Drew Lala. Hope you're well. Ben's in the house. Morning, Benny. Says, morning, everyone. Looking forward to sleeping this entire weekend. No, I kind of feel like doing something this weekend, but I don't know what. I'll have to have a think. Steve RFC says, Plymouth shocked Liverpool, but that was at home. Liverpool made a lot of changes, but this time it's City. And City, even with changes, team, I don't see a shock. Plus Villa play Cardiff. Well, yeah, this is the question. Will there be any giant killers this weekend? I think there are potential shocks in there. Palace, Millwall, London Derby can be a bit dodgy, but obviously we will go through them in more detail. Leo is in the house, says, just a homie, loves Chang, big up my homie. Then saying the perfect match. Good morning to my favourite YouTube channel, Kate and Jimbo, my homies, much love. Not long, Leo, till we get to give you big cuddles. Only a few weeks. Cannot wait to see you. Archie Gray is the personification of if life gives you lemons. Exactly that. Morning, Lumen. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Just a harmless potato says, hi all. Big up Kate, Jim and Chan. Good to see you, Spud. Hope you are doing well. Only one place to start. We haven't really streamed. Well, we haven't streamed on this channel since this game, so we might as well just quickly chat about this. Chang, we said before the show started, you feel that we should have got more out of that game. What did you actually make of the performance?
Well, I can safely say this about the performance against City is that I thought we were unlucky not to come away with anything, given the way we had the chances, especially in the second half when we, towards the end, the sun chance and the header by Pepe Patasa that was just ballooned over the crossbar. But you know what? This is just yet again, for the umpteenth time now, I'm saying on your show, this season alone, we are losing by the single odd goal margin. And this is, I mean, if you're going to bet on Spurs, or rather, if you're going to predict us to lose, the safe bet is for us to lose by a single goal margin, because that's been a narrative this whole season. And I thought it was kind of undeserved, really. I really thought that we would avoid a defeat all season against either of the Manchester clubs. And but don't get me wrong though, that first half I thought City themselves, they had ample chances to increase their lead, especially how easily Porro was just letting the crosses come in, flying in from his right. But other than that, I thought we really did give a good account of ourselves in the second half, and the home faithful did us proud. But ultimately, it was one victory. One victory too far for us, but onwards and upwards. And if anything, I would say that that game against City has proven that the likes of Kulusevski, Son, and possibly even Bergvall, they have to be starters. They have to be sure starters against Alkmaar, regardless whether it's home and away. And I will get into this later on during the show when I give you what I feel should be the strategy for the remainder of the season, and how Big Ange should balance and prioritize between our league and the Europa League games. Having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I mean, Jimbo, we sort of said on the pump up, there was a few people meltdowns, he's dropped Jed Spence, how could he, how dare he, and whatnot. But we did sort of say it looks like he's prioritising the Europa League, and he nearly got away with it. The first half was crap. I thought, but the second half, I thought we were so much better, much the better team, just not clinical enough in front of goal. I mean, what did you make of it?
Yeah, the first half, I thought, oh my God, I couldn't. We was just all over the place, weren't we? Then they settled down. And they started playing a lot better. They made some changes, which helped. And I thought we was really unlucky not to come away with something. But look, at the end of the day, he's got a squad and he's got to use that squad. And we've got players back. He needs to play them and get some game time in their legs moving forward. It's no good getting them back and not playing them. It's different from training to playing. So, and that's what he did. And he changed it, made it stronger in the second half. And we should have really come away with something. But saying that, the first half they should have been at least 3 up. I mean, we got away with a little bit in the first half, didn't we? So it swings and roundabouts. They were a bit unlucky first half. I thought we was unlucky second half, but I thought we was the better team the second half. But I suppose at the end of the day, if you look at it overall, they probably deserved to be the winners just from their first half performance. They were magnificent in the first half.
They did. They looked like the City that we've come to know, didn't they, in the first half?
Yeah.
They were in so much control. I would say that when he brought on Sarson, Brennan, Kulu, those 4 particularly, it did make a difference. We had chances, although I thought Marmouche for them, again, looked really good. Docco again. I mean, they've got some outstanding players there, but I do kind of agree with what Ben said. Madison, for me, was controlling the midfield, and then he took him off and brought on Werner, which was a little bit strange. Because Werner is useless, but B, I think there was other options.
It's not a little bit strange, really, because they were getting a bit tired. You've got to remember they're older players in cities now, and they were slowing down a bit, and Werner's got the speed. So it didn't surprise me he did that. I mean, I wouldn't have took Madison off, but look, at the end of the day, he wanted to get some game time in their legs, and that included Werner. But do you know what, Kate? At the end of the day, we're not going to get relegated, right? We want to move up the table. We give it a good go against City, fell short. So let's move on to the next games and see if we can get up into the top 8.
Ben says City kept arm's length. They didn't get out of second gear the entire game. We had no clear chances. I don't agree with that.
No, neither do I. I don't think I think they were out of second gear.
Sarr in the second half, right near the end, should have scored. He headed it over. You had Odegaard just couldn't get the end of Porro's cross.
The Son chance.
The Sonny chance, yeah. There were some real good chances there. But again, like I said, we weren't clinical enough. I agree.
But they wasn't clinical enough first half, Kate.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They should have been home and hosed in the first half. Game over. Porro got cooked. Look, I think it's time that we put Jed Spence where Porro is and bring Porro down as a winger. Chang, what do you think? For me,
100%. 100%. I mean, I honestly cannot. I mean, if the Europa League knockout stage is going to be Big Ange's saving grace, for him to persist with Porro at right back against better opposition on paper in crunch ties is going to be the end of him, honestly. Because, I mean, the last couple of league games, especially the 3 wins on the trot, has maybe proven that with the proper players, with players returning from injuries and suspensions, we still do have a team and he can get his tactics right. But Porro ahead of Spence was probably the single worst mistake of the evening on Thursday. And we paid the price for that. I mean, if you just look at the Haaland goal, the amount of legs that cross I will call it a side rule pass. The side rule pass from Doku to Haaland to score what I think can only be described as a tap-in all came down to Porro and his inability to close Doku down. And that happened again. I honestly felt that Savinho had the best chance of both teams to score. And how he missed that, I think only he will ever know. But that cross from Doku that was put on a silver platter for Savinho, that also came down from Porro's mistake. So that's like the 3rd or the 4th consecutive mistake from Porro. And I honestly cannot see a future for him at right back if Big Ange has any sense about saving his Spurs career. And I think it's going to be it's a no-brainer. Put it this way, it's a no-brainer that Spence has to start at right back next Thursday night against Alkmaar.
I think that miss was harder to miss than score.
I think it
Yep,
was.
exactly. The Savino miss was so glaring.
Yeah, when the cross went in and I saw where it was going, I was straight away in my head it was 2-0.
But when you look, you've got Savinho now on the right, you've got Doku on the left, and you've got Haaland in the middle for them. You can see next season they're going to get back to where they were. This season for me has been a bit of a fluke for them, providing obviously that these charges nothing comes of them. I think sort of Arsenal particularly probably missed the boat this season, because I don't think you're going to see City slacking off like they did this year, next year. But
I mean, it's good job. Good job Haaland can score goals, because he don't do a lot else.
Yeah, but he's good at scoring goals. There's no doubt about that.
Goals, yeah.
Another bit of news is Sonny looks like he might be gone in the summary. Strong rumours that Son. Why are you laughing, Jim?
The way you said it.
Strong rumours that Tottenham are ready now to sell Son. Saudi interested at around 40 million, they think. Jim, how do you feel about this? Sonny possibly going in the summer?
Look, I'm a Sonny advocate, and he can still do a job for us, but not every single game. What's that? What's Nick said?
Good afternoon, everyone. Finally, he's finished.
Well, yeah, they ain't sure he's going there yet, Nick. But look, if he goes and we pick up 40 million for him, I won't be disappointed, because he's not the Sonny of old, is he? I mean, Bayern Munich said they're interested in him to bring him back with Kane. But I'm kind of on the fence. If he stays, I won't be like screaming from the rooftops. And if he goes and we get a good price for him and get someone younger, who's better than him now, and then I'll be happy. But he's been a good servant for us, and if they used him sparingly, he could probably do a good job for us. But playing him game after game ain't the way to go with Sonny anymore.
Not only that, but I was listening to Sam yesterday, and he was saying that he thinks that Sonny could still do a job at Liverpool if you just are prepared to use him for half an hour here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, Chang, what's your thoughts on Sonny?
Can I just say before Chang? Sorry, Chang. Just before.
Sure, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think Sonny would be happy with that, Kate. So I personally think he'd go. Sorry, Chang.
No problem, Mr. Boxer. So, I mean, ultimately, it's going to be a decision that has to be mutually, beneficial for all parties involved. If Son can get himself one final big payday before his the end of his career, I wouldn't begrudge him of a move away. The same I didn't begrudge Kane of a move over to Bayern. And however much they're offering, if we can even get the same amount that we bought Son from Leverkusen, if we are even offered more for Son than when we first bought him from Leverkusen, I think it's going to be a fantastic business for a player that we've had on our books for almost a decade now. So either way, I trust in Son, or rather his camp and our camp, to work out something if there is to be an exit for him. But honestly, I honestly feel that holding on to him wouldn't be the worst possible thing, although I think his game time is going to be very, very limited come next season, especially if he is on his way out, and that he has to sort of like usher in a new permanent left winger and also a new club captain. But I wish Sonny all the best if this is to be his final season at Spurs, and I also welcome him for another season, because the game against, I think it was it against Ipswich? No, it was not against Villa. Yes, correct. Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
Those two assists laid on a plate by Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
When he has the confidence and the legs and the energy, that's what he's capable of. And I thought he should have had a better effort on target towards the end of the second half against City, which would have justifiably made up for his miss against Stefan Ortega in the game that nobody wanted us to win last season. But I mean, Sonny is still class, regardless of what you may say about him. And I honestly feel he still has a very big part to play for the remainder of the season. Whether or not that translates to next season is a whole different matter. But if he still is wearing lily white, I will support him till the very end, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I mean the rumor is Saudi are looking to pay 40 million for him. If he would go to Saudi, I'm not entirely sure. However, Tottenham have got a potential replacement in mind with Mateus Cunha. Although Chelsea and Arsenal are both interested, although personally I think Arsenal will go down the Sesko route rather than Cunha. Apparently Cunha's got a £62 million release clause. He scored 13 Premier League goals. Look, Son's 32, his career's coming to an end. Cunha could be a direct replacement. It's 25, 62 million release clause. If we get 40 million for Son, it kind of feels a bit of a no-brainer. I actually really rate Cunha. I think he looks a real player, and in a better team, who knows what we could unlock. But he scored 13 goals this year with 4 assists, and Sonny scored 6 goals with 9 assists. So, look, I mean, Chang, would you welcome Cunha to Spurs?
Obviously, Miss Kate, I think it's a no-brainer as well. I think the only stumbling block is possibly, whether or not Son is going to be, fundamental, or rather, is he going to be key in the transfer for Cunha, regardless of whether or not we get him. And yeah, I think Cunha is going to be class. He's going to be a great addition to to our squad, and even the younger up and coming players via Oda Beers or via Mikey Moss can learn something from Cunha. But let's just wait. Let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see what comes around goes around. And absolutely looking forward to how this transfer saga with Cunha unfolds as the summer progresses.
Is Cunha better than Son? At the moment, yeah. Not the prime Son. I don't think he's better than prime Son, but I think at the minute, the way for Ange's system, I just think Sonny, you don't get the best from Sonny. He's expected to run too much, whereas Cunha's got the pace. Tommy's saying we're not Cunha, but you don't know.
Where does he play, Kate?
He plays anywhere across the forward line.
And no, who's he play for? Sorry,
the club. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Okay, all right, I know you mean. Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who you meant. Yeah, I know you mean.
He's in demand, but Arsenal fans turn their nose up at him because he's not.
Well, that don't mean shit.
He's not an actual 25. He's not an actual number 9. He plays more on the wing, but he can play as a striker if needed.
Yeah, I know you mean. I mean, Arsenal turned their nose up at Isaac a couple of seasons ago, so them turning their nose up at someone don't mean anything to me.
Yeah. I agree with Nige. If we want him, we've got to move quick. Arsenal, Man United, all in the market for a striker. Chelsea as well. You've got Gyökeres, you've got Osimhen, all these type of players that they're looking at. But if they decide to Sesko, if they decide to stay at their clubs, then they're going to be looking at players like Cunha. So I think we need to get in there very quick if we're going to get him. Robbie, big up to you, says Spence Kulu's Son changed the game. Why is he not starting them? Look, I think it's unfair to give Ange too much grief because although our next game was 8 days away, he's still got to rotate the squad. And for me, Europa is more important than that league game against City. I don't know what do you think?
Well, the three of them have been playing a lot.
Yeah.
And, I look. At the end of the day, I think if you was going to rotate, it was all right to do it against City at home. I knew we'd still give them half a decent game, even though the first half was not good. But look, we got to trust what he knows what he's doing with these players, because we still got 11 games left, I think, in the league, and we've got the European Cup to go for. So he has to rotate. And he has to get some game time in these guys' legs that have been out injured. So let's just leave it to him to do his job.
Leroy Sane apparently on our list. What a player he was. I don't know so much about his form now. Look, Robbie, you're right. He could have rotated against Ipswich. However, Ipswich away is a difficult game. I know City at home is a difficult game, but it was just.
Well, I
If
think
he
to myself, you're better off going for it against Ipswich and thinking you can get 3 points out of it. And he could have put the full team out against City, and we could have still lost. It's
yeah,
one
not
of
only
them
that,
games.
if he just rotated against Ipswich, people would be moaning that he's rotated against Ipswich. So this
Yeah.
guy can't do right for wrong. Leroy Insane, if he comes to us. Truly, you won't pay Sane the wages. Isn't he on 200 grand a week? Well, I think that's roughly. Sonny's on what's Sonny on? He's got to be on.
Yeah, he's on about that.
Yeah, so all good for now. To the end of the season is finish above United and win the Europa. Yes, that would be nice. Not so much finishing above United. I don't really care, but winning the Europa League would be amazing. And you never know. It could happen. Stranger things have happened. But this weekend, it's not about Sonny and it's not about Spurs. It's about the FA Cup. And as we know, Tottenham aren't in the FA Cup, much like the Arsenal aren't in it either. But the predictions this week are all for the FA Cup games.
Can I just say, Kate, look, at the end of the day, right, the league, we're not going to really do much in the league now. We've blown it this season, the league, but we got the European Cup to go for, right? So let him rest the better players, right, in some of the games for the European Cup, and that's what he's done. He's putting his eggs into the European Cup basket, which is good, because at the end of the day, if we win the European Cup at the end of the season and say finish 10th or 9th or 11th, right, people are going to say it's a good season. It's been a bad season in the league, but we can go back to that next season. But we've won a trophy, and a prestigious trophy as well. You know, if I could have picked out of any of the trophies to win, it would have been the European Cup.
Yeah, of course.
So, and we're four games away from winning it.
I mean, this is a discussion we was having yesterday. If Tottenham win the Europa League and Arsenal finish second but win nothing, we've had a better season than they have. It's as easy as that. So we've got to go all out. And if that means Ange rotating when people think it's mad, I get it. I'm not upset like you about Kulu and Son, but Spence crazy. Look, I just look at it that if Spence had got injured, we'd all be having meltdowns that he didn't save him for the Europa League. So I choose not to get stressed. I didn't expect him not to start, but when he didn't start, I was perfectly all right with it. So that's how I stand on it. But
Nick, maybe we wanted to save Spence for this week. Maybe he was worried maybe he'd get injured, or he might have had a tight calf or something. We don't know, do we? And he just thought it was better. It's better for me that he saved him for Thursday, because we want to win Thursday. When we lost against City, did I feel anything? No, because I know we're not fighting for anything in the league. If we lose Thursday, I'm going to feel pain.
Exactly. As Billy says, I don't think people realise how tough AZ Alkmaar away is. Ange was right for rotating. And Ange said it. I can't moan about not having a squad and then getting my squad back and not rotating. It's not rocket science. So, but yes, the trophy is the main aim, of course.
At the end of the day, right? No matter what he does, we could moan about it. There'll be people moaning about one thing or another. If he'd have played the full team again, people would be saying, "Why ain't he rotating?"
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
We've got players back. He's not. So at the end of the day, we just got to put our trust in him and let him do his thing, and hope that Thursday he made the right decision, and Spence, Kulu, and they all shine.
Not only that, if Porro had the game of his life, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's only that Porro was sloppy that we're actually talking about it.
At the end of the day, what did I say to you on the pump up, right? You asked me, was I worried about anyone? And you went, I don't know why I'm asking you that. And I said to you, well, actually, I am. Yeah. I was worried about Doku. What's his name? Doku?
Yeah.
Yeah, a Doku on that side with Porro. And I was worried about that. And I very rarely say it. And look, at the end of the day, we knew he was going to roast him. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's greedy, but a fantastic player. And I knew that he was going to get roasted down there.
And the funny thing is, the biggest people that are screaming about the fact Spence didn't play are the ones that were saying he was shit at the start of the season. But Joey Barton says, if we don't win Europa League, does Ange have to go, in your opinion? Shane?
Tough one for me to answer, honestly. I think it also depends on just how we exit the Europa, or rather how far we go in the tournament. Like if we were to go out on a whimper against Alkmaar and we don't really try and make up for it by finishing as high as possible now in the league, I think that is probably the final nail in the coffin for him. But you know what? If he does get us all to the final, even if he doesn't win the final, to even be in the final of another European competition so soon after the Champions League saga with Pochettino, I think he should at least be given a chance to end the season on a high and let the board of directors evaluate the season that has come and gone. And let's just wait and see. Honestly, these are questions that I think might be a bit premature to answer now. But yeah, I think a lot of it hinges now on how well we do and how far we go into the Europa League knockout stages. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I think I would say that 80% of Big Ange's future beyond this summer hinges entirely on the outcome of our European League adventures this season.
Yeah, do you know what, Chang? I think you've answered that spot on. I think it's too early to say, because if we get to the Europa League final and lose to a dodgy penalty, you can't just say, right, well, Ange's got to go. I think it's all got to be done in context. So until the end of the season, I'm not prepared to say one way or the other what. I want to see what he does until the end of the season now. If we do go out of the Europa League, but we end up pushing and getting in the top six, it'll be a different discussion. So, yeah, I think let's just wait and see. Robbie says, it's hard to trust a man who's led us to 14 losses in the league. I hope we can turn it around, but he is statistically our worst manager in years. Big up Luton Dan says, hope you're all great. On the rotation, we're not catching City. And I think if we had been playing teams close to us, we would have put out a better team. Exactly that. I agree. Like he did against Ipswich, because we needed to beat Ipswich because they're down at the bottom where we are. I think that's spot on. Jim, have you frozen, or was you going to say something? Oh, no, you're there.
No, I just think, well, Robbie just said it's hard to trust a manager. Well, Robbie, you got to take into account, it's been we've been unlucky with injuries. We've had a tough season all round, and you can't just blame it all on Ange. He hasn't had the players. He's had to play young players game after game after game, and other players, older players, game after game. But look, everybody looks at it in a different light. I look at it that I think we've had an unlucky season in some respects. And I'm not saying he ain't made mistakes, Rob, because he has. I think he's made some, when we had a full squad, he made some mistakes in some of the substitutes, some of the teams he started. But as I said before, it's a massive job for him. And I said this the other day, I believe the job was too big for him when he came in. But I think that he can grow into the job and end up a good Premiership manager if given the time, because the guy's not an idiot. He has got a brain, and he's been successful at his level. So I just like to crack on with his ear. I'll crack on with him and see where he takes us. We're still in a massive cup that we could win. So
I didn't realise Raya won goalkeeper of the year last night, to be honest. Luton Dan says we can't expect Ange to win a trophy in Europe that no Spurs manager has done in years, although he's not my choice. No, I think we'll just have to wait and see. This is a manager that said he didn't make subs because we didn't deserve to win the game. That in itself should have been the end. Yeah, I agree, but maybe he's living and learning.
Yeah, but maybe he said that in the heat of the moment as well, Kate.
Yeah.
People say things they shouldn't say all the time.
That's true. It was the London Football Award, so I don't know any other keeper that was going to win it, to be fair, because Chelsea's keepers are crap. Ours has been injured after the season. Palace, yeah, I'm not sure who else would have won it. Big up, lovely Lisa. Hope you're well, darling. Good to see you. But let's get started on these predictions. Aston Villa versus Cardiff is live tonight. Obviously, Cardiff 14th in the Championship. Their last few games, lost one, won, lost, drawn, won. That's their last games.
Have you got Nick's predictions?
Yes, I have. So, Aston Villa versus Cardiff. Jimbo, first of all, I'm coming to you.
4-1.
2.
4-1. That means 4 for the home, 1 for the away.
Don't be pedantic. Jimbo's going 4-1 to Aston Villa. Mr. Chang, what about yourself?
I fully expect Villa to bounce back from their very, very demoralizing loss to Palace during the midweek. And this is going to be a home win for Villa with a clean sheet to boot. I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Villa, Miss Kate.
Villa very rarely keep a clean sheet.
Well, Chang has gone for 2-0 and me and Nick have gone for 3-0. So we're all predicting clean sheets. Luton Dan says we need to support our manager while he's here and stop all the we think we're better managers bullshit. Sorry, I really swear, but you've got to get behind what you have, and Ange is what we have. Yes. And Robbie says our form was inconsistent before we had injuries. Plus, he rushed back Van der Ven and QT against Chelsea. You make your own luck. Look at our running stats compared to Liverpool, then compare injuries. Billy says Cardiff win. With that form guide, I'm going for an 8-0 Cardiff win. 3-0, same as us, Dan. Exactly what we said. Managers like Iriola have had huge injury problems. Look, if we're going to go down the road of Iriola, number one, they've got probably a better squad. Number two, if they lost all the key players that we have, we could go round and round in circles.
But at the end of the day, right, Robbie, you don't like Ange, you want him out. So no matter what I say, you're going to counteract it with something, right? And I'm not saying if he got sacked that I would be crying in my fucking tea, right? If he gets sacked, he gets sacked, and I go on to the next manager and support him, right? But the thing is if you got a downer on someone, you got a downer on him, you've got a downer on him. So no matter what I say, you're going to come up with something. So,
Chang, are you on the wine?
Well spotted, Miss Kate. Well, it's got to be 8 p.m. somewhere, so it is 8:30 here on a Friday. And thankfully, I'm not driving tonight, and neither are Spurs playing over the weekend, and neither do I have any pre-match pump-ups lined up, or rather any shows beyond today. So I might as well just have a bit to drink here at my relative's place while I soak up the Spurs-less weekend, and just look forward to some valuable family time with the family.
Can I just say, Kate, Ariola, right, has got about 4,000 players to his disposal as well. And they've bought everyone on the planet.
Joey Barton suggesting that Chang is drinking blood to make himself look so young. Listen, after the weekend I had last weekend drinking and the hangover that I had, I'm staying well clear of alcohol this weekend.
Good.
Lee Smithy Smith's just messaged me. Apparently, the Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest game has been moved to the Monday night, 8 o'clock.
Oh wow, Monday night football. Okay, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be very, very interesting.
That has got to be a nightmare for us. Lee can't go now.
I'm not sure we'll be able to, Kate.
Neither am I. I'm going to have to look at that after. I don't think we'll be able to go either. Bloody hell. But yeah, Smithy's just texted me and told me, so we'll have to look into that. Someone phoned the police. There's an underage person drinking. No, not Bournemouth have a better squad. I said bigger squad, and I think they didn't lose the key players that we lost. Big up Daniel says, I have to disagree about Bournemouth apparently having a better squad because in the summer I didn't hear anyone say we've got a worse squad than Bournemouth. If I said better, I didn't mean that. I meant that they didn't lose the key players, but I put it in obviously in a very bad way.
And every squad's different, Kate. You know, some squads you can lose one, two, three players, and it can absolutely kill your squad, right? And other squads you can lose 5 players, and it don't make that much difference. Every squad's different. Every club's different, You know, who we lost affected us massively. Maybe who they lost never affected them as bad. You know, and it's the same like with Chelsea. They can afford to lose players because they bought about 500 players in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. I finished at 3 today, so I intend to start drinking at 3:05 and to stop at 12 Sunday night. Do you know what? I was so drunk Saturday night. I felt so ill Sunday, but then Monday I felt even worse.
Do you know what? I had it in my head that Joey wasn't a drinker for some reason. I don't know why.
That's fair enough, Jim. Each to their own with opinions on the manager. Whilst I'm not a fan of him, I do hope he can prove me wrong, turn it around and win us the Europa League.
Yeah, all you should do, Robbie, is he's our manager and they're our players. You know, you ain't got to like them, just get behind them. And because all we want is for us to win something.
Yeah, Billy's right. We've sacked managers time after time. Nothing changes. So what makes you think sacking Ange will change anything? Maybe we'll get a new manager bounce, but how long will that last?
We got to the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, didn't we? We had a really, really hard route, and then we drew Liverpool, the best team on the planet at the minute, probably. So I mean, it's.
I'm choosing.
And we even won the first leg with a clean sheet as well, Mr. Boxall.
Yeah, I'm choosing not to worry about anything that I can't change. So, with regards to Ange, I'm just going to see what happens. Yeah, this is true. Just because they buy as many players, don't the right players.
It gives you a lot more choice, Mark, for filling in. I mean, I never really looked at any of your teams this season and thought that's not a good team. You know, you've got some good players there, that's for sure.
Right, next teams. Preston versus Burnley. Now, Burnley are currently sitting third in the Championship with their last 6 games being draw, 1, draw, 1. So they're doing well. Preston are 13th, 1 lost, 1 drawn, lost. So it's 13th versus 3rd. Mr. Chang, what do you fancy?
I fancy Burnley to scrape past Preston North End, despite being this an away tie for them. I honestly feel that Burnley aren't the Burnley they were before when they still had Vincent Kompany managing them. But I still expect Burnley to win this. This is going to be my first 1-2 away win. It's going to finish Preston North End 1, Burnley 2.
Okay. Jimbo, what do you fancy?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-2 as well.
1-2, 1-2. Okay. I have gone for 2-3, and Nick has gone for 0-2. So we've all done a Burnley win.
Bit of Warfest. Who said that? Tommy K.
Tommy K, yeah. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Burnley 3-1, says Mark. 2-0, same as Nick, says Luton Dan. Peter Kagaya says, I want Ange sacked so I can see how long it takes us to hand the next manager out. Yeah.
Don't say that, Peter. I don't want to get manager sacked.
It doesn't mean it. Big up, Paige. Congrats on the Man United win the other day. You did it. You did it. You managed to
the hard way. The hard way, yeah, but you still won. So next game, London Derby. Crystal Palace versus Millwall. Millwall, who are currently sitting, where are they? 7th in the Championship, with their last 6 games being win, lost, drawn, win. I have done Palace 3, Millwall 1. Nick has done Palace 3, Millwall 1. Jimbo, what do you fancy? Well, I was going to do Palace 3, Millwall 1. I'm going to change my mind. I think Palace, right, because normally they're fighting down the bottom, aren't they? And they're quite stable now. So if they were down the bottom, I would have done a Millwall win if they were fighting relegation because they'd have put out a crap team. But I think that they put out a strong team. So I'm going to go Palace 4, Millwall 1.
Wow. Chang, what about you?
Much like you and Mr. Collison, right, I am going to go for a Palace win by 2-goal margin, except that it's going to be 2-0 rather than 3-1. It's going to finish Palace 2.
Wow.
Yes, Palace 2 and Millwall 0.
So we've all gone for a Millwall win. Big up to Peter.
A Palace win, you mean?
Sorry, a Palace win. Big up to Peter for becoming a new member. Thank you very much for the support. He's also gifted a membership, but it hasn't come up who it's gone to yet. So I shall keep that open so I can see. But thank you very, very much for the support as always. Dan is going the same as you, 2-0. Mark's going for Millwall to win outside the ground, but Palace to win the football too. I bet there'll be some tear-ups, to be fair.
My nephew's a Millwall supporter.
Yeah,
he won't be there.
I hope that there will be an outsider win the FA Cup this year. Yeah, it would be nice to see someone different win it. Would have been nicer if it had been Spurs, but you know, it is what it is. Then we've got Bournemouth Wolves and all Premier League, Palace 6-1, and all Premier League tie this one. Chang, how do you see this one going?
I think Bournemouth should win this, although not really comfortably, given that it's going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are really going to give this a right go to see if they can salvage anything from this very disappointing season for them. But having said that, I feel that Bournemouth themselves are going to want to carry on from their midweek form. I can see this also being a home win. This is going to be my third 2-0 home win for the fifth round of the FA Cup. It's going to be Bournemouth 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
I have done Bournemouth 2, Wolves 1, and so has Nick. Jimbo, what do you fancy for this
Bournemouth
one?
3, Wolves 1.
Oh, Bournemouth 3. I mean, Chang. Don't know why I said Chang. Page is going for a Wolves win. A Wolves away win, 2-1. Joey, I'll take that bet. I don't think Spurs will lose this weekend either. Bournemouth 3, Spurs. No, see, look, now you got me going Spurs. Bournemouth 3, Wolves 1, says Dan. Bournemouth 1-0, says Billy. I think most people, apart from Page, do fancy Bournemouth to win it. But I wouldn't be overly surprised whichever way it went. Wolves will can this game off. So 3-1 Bournemouth, 2-1 Wolves, says Mark.
Yeah,
wow.
I agree with Ben. I think the Wolves won't put out their strongest team.
And Joey Barton saying 5-3. Wow. So yeah, interesting one. Then we've got, could this be a potential giant killing, please? Manchester City versus Plymouth. Now, obviously, we all know Manchester City. Plymouth are sitting in 10th in the Championship. Their last 6 games, drawn, won, lost, drawn. So, not outstanding form. However, you never know, it's the FA Cup with Jimbo.
Well, didn't Man City get knocked out of the Carabao Cup by a lower team by not playing their full squad? So I think they're going to learn from that. And I don't think they'll take that chance again. So
Plymouth. I've just noticed that. Why have I put Plymouth? I'm such a bimbo sometimes, I swear to God. Plymouth. That's it. I got engaged there many years ago. I'll just put that in there. But Jimbo, go on.
I'm going to go 5-0 City.
That's what I've gone for, Jimbo. Talk about the same wavelength. Leo, what is wrong with me? Chang, how do you see this one going?
I think City are going to be able to keep their second clean sheet, their second consecutive competitive clean sheet. Although I don't think it's going to be a big scoring game. You have to remember that City very nearly lost away to I think it was Leyton Orient. If you remember that Jamie Donnelly goal from the halfway line that somehow spectacularly beat Stefan Ortega to give Leyton Orient a first half lead. But I think this is going to be one game too much for Plymouth to go on. I'm expecting City to win by 2-0. It's going to be City 2, Liverpool Giant Killers, Argyle 0.
I think that Mark's got a good point as well. He says that City only have
this
left to win.
Yeah, they do. It would have been thought we'd been saying that at the start of the season.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That Mark and Ben have both gone for a 6-0 win. 5-1 says Dan. Nick has done 4-1, and Jimbo and I 5-0, Chang 2-0. So not expecting a giant killing there, unfortunately, but would happily be wrong for Plymouth to beat them. Newcastle Brighton, another all Premier League tie. Chang, how do you see this one going? I think I've got to just put it out there. I don't think Isak is back for this game.
This is going to be a difficult one to call as well. You know what? I'm going to go for only my second. This is the second 1-2 away win for the visiting team. It's going to be Newcastle 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, Miss Kate.
That is exactly what I've done, Mr. Chang. I've done Newcastle 1, Brighton 2. Nick has done Newcastle 2, Brighton 1. Jimbo, what about you? Who do you fancy, Newcastle or Brighton?
It's a hard one. You don't think Isak's going to be back?
Well, I did read about it, and it says he's expected to miss this game. So
I was gutted the other day because I'd done a draw. And if I'd have known he wasn't playing, I would have done them to lose.
it's not concrete. You know, sometimes they say these things and then he's on the team sheet, but that's what I read. That was the latest that I read. So.
I'm going to go with Ben 3-2. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think that Nick. I'm going to take the chance that he's going to play.
So you and Nick have done Newcastle, and me and Chang have done Brighton. We shall see who's right and who's wrong. Another all Premier League clash. Manchester United versus Fulham for this one. Jimbo, what do you think for this one?
I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham.
That's what Nick's done. Controversial, Jimbo. Don't you think Man United are back?
No, they ain't going to be back for years.
Nick's also done a 2-1 Fulham win. Mr. Chang. Oh, I've got pins and needles in my foot. Mr. Chang, what do you think for this one?
I think United are going to want to carry on and follow up from their midweek win over Ipswich with yet another win at home at Old Trafford. This is going to be my fifth 2-0 home win in the fifth round of the FA Cup. It's going to finish United 2 and Fulham 0.
Okay. For this one, I have done United 2, Fulham 1. And Nick has done...
I can't see United winning this at all. I can't.
For this one, Nick's done United 1, Fulham 2. Same as you, Jimbo. So, again, Chang and I have gone for a home win and you two have gone for an away win. Paige...
If I had to put money on a game this season, this weekend, I had to put money on a game, I'd put it on Fulham to win. I can't see United beating them. I just can't.
Paige is sticking with her guys. She's backing United to win 2-1. Dan saying 2-1. Ben saying 3-1. Oh, Mark CFC says sorry, Paige, but she's going 4-2 Fulham. All good, Mark. Would not even surprise me. More wishful thinking on my end. Fulham will beat United, says Tommy K.
That's what I think, Tommy.
The number one Agabar in the whole wide world says, depends if Man United gets an own goal in their favour or a penalty. Yes. Who knows what will happen there. Another all Premier League tie, Nottingham Forest versus Ipswich. I've gone for a 2-1 Forest win. And Nick has gone for a 3-1 Forest win. Mr. Chang, do you fancy a home win here?
Yes, I fancy a home win here. I mean, honestly, for Forest to not even for Forest to not win against Woolwich at home, I think was a bit of disappointment for them and us. But I think I wouldn't begrudge Forest a win here against Ipswich. Unfortunately, I think Ipswich are going to have to register their third consecutive competitive loss in 8 days, I think. It's going to finish Forest 2, Ipswich 0. My sixth 2-0 home win prediction for the fifth round of the FA Cup.
Mr. Chang's going for a lot of 2-0s, normally 2-1s,
yep.
But it's 2-0 in all over the place this week. Jimbo, Forest, Ipswich, what do you fancy?
Well, I fancy the Ipswich are resting players, and I fancy Forest. I go strong, so I'm going to go 3-1 Forest.
Same as Nick. So we've all backed Forest to win. I think you're right. I think Ipswich have got to prioritise the league to try and stay up. Billy, I think even if Man United lost 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, I don't think Amarim's going anywhere at the minute. 1-0 Forest says Page. 3-1 Forest says Mark. Says Mark CFC. 3-1 again says Luton Dan. Lots of 3-1s.
What have you said, Kate?
I've said 2-1 to Forest, and Nick said 3-1. So, but thinking about it, Ipswich probably will rest some, but I'm not changing. I'm not being a flip-flop. Then we've stuck these two in because that's the end of the FA Cup game. So I've stuck in 2 championship games just to be different. And I've stuck in Leeds versus West Brom. Now, Leeds are currently top of the championship, and their last 6 games are drawn 1-1-1-1-1. And West Bromwich Albion are in 8th, and their last 6 games are 1 lost, drawn 1. So I shall say
a loss.
Right now I have done Leeds 3, West Brom 1, and Nick has done Leeds 2, West Brom 1. Jimbo, what do you fancy?
Well, they're a bit of a comeback kings, aren't they, Leeds? They go behind and leave it late and bang in the goals. I'm going to go with Luton Dan, and I'm going to say 3-2 to Leeds.
3-2.
Yeah.
Mr. Chang, what do you fancy?
For Miss Jessie's sake, I'm going to be rooting for Leeds United this round. I think it's only fair for Leeds United to win. Having sold Archie Gray to us earlier in the summer. Having said that, this is going to be my 7th and final 2-0 home win in the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's going to finish Leeds United to West Bromwich Albion 0.
Yeah, you've got to. Listen, I think Leeds will win this, but the times West Brom, back in the days when I used to bet on the football, they always were my bogey team. They always used to let me down. If I'd done them to
win,
the
baggies. There's a reason why I call them the baggies.
Exactly. And if I'd done them to lose, they'd win. But I hope that Leeds prevail. But again, one more championship game, Luton versus Portsmouth. I've stuck, which I actually was really shocked because Luton are second from bottom in the championship, which I had no idea they were doing that badly. And their last 6 games are lost, drawn, lost, 1 lost.
And Portsmouth?
Portsmouth are 9th, and their last 6 games are lost, drawn, lost, 1-1-1. So, but I thought Luton would, they went down, but I thought maybe they'd do all right, but they're second from bottom. So, Chang, I'll come to you first. Luton, Portsmouth, what do you fancy?
This is going to be my 3rd and final 1-2 away win in the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's going to finish Luton 1, Pompey 2.
Okay, that's exactly the same scoreline that Nick's done. He's done a 2-1 away win. Jimbo?
I'm going to go Portsmouth 3-1.
Wow. Well, I've done a home win.
About these lower teams, but just by what you've read off there, it sounds like that they're a lot better.
I've done Luton to win 1-0, same as Page. I like Luton. I like to win there.
I like Luton as well, but I don't think they'll beat Portsmouth by what you're saying. I can only go by what you tell me because I ain't got a clue.
Well, I've gone 1-0 Page, and I shall be cheering on the Luton.
If you hadn't read that off, I would have backed Luton, but I didn't have a clue.
Well, I would have backed them whatever because I like them, and that's how I roll. But I was absolutely...
That's how you what?
Roll. I was absolutely shocked to see Luton second from bottom in the championship. As Dan says, they're terrible, and it's so sad to see after the football they played in the Premier League. Such a shame. If they get relegated this season, back-to-back relegations is so poor. The Premier League to League One, it's horrendous. Sod the lot of you, but much love, Kate. Yeah, you got to back Luton. I like Luton, and I had a good time when I went to Luton for a weekend.
And I need the points.
FA Cup quiz question. What ex-league club won the lucky losers draw when Man United pulled out for the Club World Cup back in the day? Bloody hell. I wouldn't have a clue.
FA Cup quiz question. What ex-league club? I'm going to say.
I'm guessing that this is. I'm guessing that this is a club that's no longer in the league, meaning to say that this club is now defunct, maybe, or has it been demoted to the non-league division, meaning to say that they've lost their league status. I think that's what it means.
What, darling?
I'm going to go with Darlington.
Oh, you're going with Darlington FC?
Yeah, you reminded me when you called me darling.
I'm going to go Bury, the same as what someone else has said. But I literally have no clue whatsoever.
So I've gone Darlington.
Chang, you have
Mr. Baron has put the answer right at the bottom of the chat.
Oh, it was Darlington.
Yeah, I get 3 points for that.
No, you don't. No, you really don't. But Ian, that was such a giveaway because you're a Darlington fan. At least
well, you didn't say it, so.
Paddy says, "Afternoon, folks. Hope ye are well. It's a boring week with no Spurs. Yes, but we're back next week with AZ Alkmaar on Thursday, and then is it Bournemouth next weekend or?
Yeah, I think Bournemouth. Yeah.
Jimbo and I are going to do our first ever watch along it's Fulham away, which will be funny because we've never done a watch along and it's bound to be an absolute disaster.
I'm going to have to take my mouth.
Yes. And you can't have the sound on either, so you're going to have headphones in or something. Excuse me, but yeah, it will be weird not having Tottenham on the telly this weekend. And I've got to be honest, I don't really care about anybody in this FA Cup. I don't give a monkeys who wins.
I'd like to see Villa win.
No, I don't want them to win it. If I had to pick someone, I'd quite like to see. No, I don't care. I'm trying to be nice and pick someone. I don't care who wins. Big it up, Steve D. Good to see you. Hope you're well. How many shows next week, Kate? One, none. It's all very hit and miss. Look, I was away. I've got to say it. I was hungover for 2 days, so it's all gone a bit up the wall. But Monday, I'm doing a members show. Tuesday, there'll be a show. Wednesday, there'll be a show. Thursday and Friday, hopefully, there'll be shows as well. So I can't say fairer than that. It is going to get back to normal soon. It's just been a bit.
We've got a sort an evening show, and you've got to do a show with Amelia.
Yeah, mine and Amelia's show are going to start next week. I've just got to sort out a day. Probably Tuesday, I would say. Just say United, Kate. No, I don't want United to win it. You've won it loads of times. Afternoon, Archer. At least Spurs can't ruin our weekend. Yes, indeed. Daniel wants Wolves to win. Yeah, is there a team? Yeah, someone that's never won it before would be nice. But really, I don't care. Just an underdog. Definitely not Millwall, though. Yeah. Anyone else got a preference of who wins it?
No, I haven't really got a preference. I mean, I'd like Villa to win it for Frank, but I don't.
It would be nice for Forest to win it, if assuming they can't finish in the top two this season. I mean, what better way for Nuno to
because
get
we
back
just
at
take loads
EV?
of stick. We just take loads of stick that we sold Nuno, and then he wins a trophy. So no.
To be fair, with Forest's history in the cups, it would actually be quite nice to see Forest win it. And after the way we treated Nuno, it'd be quite sort of poetic justice.
Poetic justice.
Oh, that's what I said.
Yeah, it would be.
But yes, Joey, there will be shows next week. Sorry, I apologise that it's been a bit erratic of late, but family first, always. That's what I was told. If Villa win it, they replace us in the top 6.
All right, so we don't want Villa to win it. Sorry, Frank.
Yeah, we don't want Villa to win it. Definitely not.
Who's left in it, Kate?
You got Villa, Cardiff, Preston, Burnley, Palace, Millwall, Bournemouth, Wolves, City, Plymouth, Newcastle, Brighton, Man United, Fulham, and Forest and Ipswich.
I don't know. I don't really care. You know the truth.
I think Forest or Brighton would be quite nice. Yeah, Forest or Brighton.
Well, if Ipswich won it, I wouldn't mind.
Ipswich. Yeah. I'm not saying anything to that. That was like a meh. Ben is live at 2. I have done a redirect, Ben, even though we're finishing quite early. We've got to take the doggy to the vets and get fish and chips for dinner. Lovely, jubbly.
I forgot she's at the vets. Yeah, she's at the vets, isn't she?
Personally, I don't accept that apology. I'm very glad I saved my 99p by not being a member. Well, you're just mean, Joey. That's all I'm going to say. You're mean. I would love Brighton to win it, says Billy. Paddy says, I don't care who wins it. It just annoys me we're not in it. It was our best opportunity to win the FA Cup. It's fine,
Yeah.
Paddy. We're going to win the Europa League instead, and that's better.
Paddy, what would you prefer, the FA Cup or the Europa League?
Yeah.
Give me your answer, Paddy.
Paddy, they've moved the bloody Forest game to Monday night. I can't believe it. Anyone outside the top 6 would be good for football. If not for United or Leeds, Wolves can win it. I hope the dog's okay. Yeah, she's just having a month. She has a monthly puppy check thing, so she's fine. Yes, Leo, Europa League or bust, exactly that. Chang, have you got any streams or anything lined up?
I might have one. I'm planning to do one much later tonight over on Spurs Diehards TTID with both Mr. Meth and possibly Mr. Sroka and also Mr. Tom. And that's going to be at 9, I think, or 8. It's either between 8 or 9 p.m. later tonight on a Friday night. That's the only thing that I have until the next time we play again against Alkmaar. Hopefully, we will have something positive to be talking about on a Friday afternoon, some 12 hours later after the full-time whistle has been blown. But apart from that, my whole weekend and most of the weekday will be completely show-free and stress-free.
I think is that AZ Alkmaar game 5:30?
Let me look.
Yeah, have a look for me, Jimbo, and see what time that kicks off. Got to be the FA Cup for the history. This is the first Europa where the big teams don't drop down. So FA Cup for me. Wow. Oh my God, I want to win a trophy.
I actually think it's better, Paddy, that they don't drop down. I think it's bad. I always thought that was bad.
Yeah, it is 5:30. So what time is that for you, Shane?
I think the Europa Cup's a more prestige cup to win. It is.
It's 5:30, Jim. We've established it. What time is that for you, Shane?
Let me see now. 5:30 is going to be 1:30 a.m. It's going to be 1:30 a.m. on a Friday morning for me here in Southeast Asia.
It's not 5:30.
Oh, at 5:45.
Correct.
So it's going to be 1:45 a.m. on a Friday morning for me.
Is that, will you get up and watch it, Shane?
Assuming if I am doing a pre-match pump up on via Tottenham TV, then yes, I will be staying up the whole Thursday night to finish off the the Thursday with a watch for the game. But if not, I'll just treat it like the City game at home, in which I didn't watch a single minute of it, thanks to no commitments on YouTube.
I mean, you're welcome on the pump up if you want to come on, but if you'd rather wait and have a decent kickoff time, it's entirely up to you.
No, honestly, Miss Kate, I think this, now that you are fully in charge of the pre-match pump up, I would gladly give my spot to someone else who is better suited or in a better mindset or frame of mind to do the show. But if there is an availability or if there's a slot that needs filling, I can always do it at any given moment notice. And if I do a watch long, then it only makes sense for me to just follow that up with watching the game, because I have tried not going to I have tried not watching the game after the pump up, and more often than not, I actually regret. I regret not watching the game immediately after doing the pump up, because those are the games that we usually win or at least avoid defeat. So yeah, it has been a tradition of mine to just get on with it and just watch the game till the early hours of the following morning if I do a pump up.
Yeah, I hear you. Jimbo, anything planned for you?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I don't know if you're like going streaming anywhere else.
I don't stream anywhere else, Kate.
No
one likes me. No one likes me. So,
well, in that case, we will be back on Monday for a members show we're going to do on Monday. Jimbo, I meant because the big teams don't drop down, it's become easier, and you have to beat all the big teams in England to win the FA Cup. Yeah, look, I hear you.
yeah, but the thing is, I just think winning a European trophy is a lot more prestigious.
Yeah.
If I had a choice, I would pick that. So I don't look. I never liked it that the teams dropped down. I thought it was wrong. Once you get knocked out of a tournament, you get knocked out of a tournament. So it's in a lower tier for a reason, Kate. Right. So the lower clubs that can't make the Champions League have a chance of winning a big trophy. So when the Champions League teams go down, right, I think it's really unfair. That's why it's a lower trophy than the Champions League. So I think that they've made the right. I've been saying it to you for years, Kate. I hated it when they got knocked out of the Champions League and winning it. So look, at the end of the day, for me, it's a massive trophy, and I'd rather they weren't in it. Who said that? Who said that comment?
Dermatron.
I couldn't be more pleased that they're not in it, because it gives us a chance of winning it. If you've got City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea in it, it makes our chances of winning it go down dramatically. So let them stay out of it and give us a chance of winning it.
Yeah, exactly. Mr. Chang's laptop is about to die, so I assume that's why he's dropping off. But thank you to Mr. Chang for being on the show as always. Jess, big up to you. We was predicting the Leeds result today, Jess. So let us know what you fancy for the weekend. But she's been a member for 6 months already. Says much love, guys. Come on, you Spurs. Much love back to you. You'll be pleased. We've all picked a Leeds win this weekend, so you'll be delighted with that. Daniel says, how many of them big teams used to actually go out in the group stages of the Champions League? I don't remember a lot. I remember Seville basically abusing the rule. 3-1 lead, says that's my prediction, Jess. We're on the same wavelength. I've gone 3-1. Jimbo's gone 3-2. Chang's gone 2-0. And Nick has gone 2-1. So me and Jess, I've gone for the 3-1 win. Yeah, we will be back, like I say, on Monday. So if you are a member, the link for the members show will be in the community section from about 10:30. Barney, it's not saying anything controversial, but I just won't bring up anyone slagging off other YouTubers.
Yeah, especially we was doing the mental health, and Savile would just come on out of the blue and give £100 to the charity. So we're not going to have words said against him in here for sure.
No, there's no need for it.
And we still are friends with Savile.
And exactly beyond, unless you're one of the founding members of Hotspur FC, you can't say who is or isn't a Spurs fan. Everybody's different, and I just won't have it. And that's me. 4-0 lead, says Side Dancer. They should win. They're top of the league. There's absolutely no reason why Leeds shouldn't win at the weekend. Well, it looks like a nice quiet weekend for us, Jimbo. No shows, no football. It's just going to be chilling.
Yeah.
Unless you're planning whisking me away somewhere.
Well, we can go out if you want. I don't mind. Either that or I'll be out with my other bitch over the woods.
If the weather's nice, we could go to the seaside.
If you want, darling.
Blow away the cobwebs. Bugger off, Joey Barton. For the nice people that are members, they're welcome. That's all it is, Barney. You can say anything controversial about Spurs that you like, or about football.
Yeah,
just not
we keep that out of here, mate. We won't have it in here, and especially with someone that has been good with us over the time we've been on here. We've had our ups and downs with him, but he's always been decent to us. So.
I think that's it, Jimbo, unless there's anything else. Once again, congratulations to Archie Gray, who won the Young London Awards Young Player of the Year award. So congrats, Archie Gray, for that. And yeah, I think that's it. Enjoy the weekend, people. Thank you very much to Peter Kagayas, who became a new member and gifted a membership, who I still can't see who it went to, so I have no idea.
Well, I hope it's not Joey Barton.
And also Jess, who has been a member for 6 months. As I said, you are going to be redirected to Ben, who starts his show at 2. Jimbo, have you been watching the F1 test?
It's on right now. I've got it on right now. Yeah, I have. And he's struggling a little bit with the car, isn't he, Hamilton? But he'll get to grips with it.
When does that start then?
It starts this month. I'm not sure the day. I haven't looked yet, but I think I've got a feeling it's around about the 15th. I think it's the 15th or around about then.
Bloody hell, darts, bloody F1. Oh,
I don't know if anyone watched the darts last night, but it was, the darts was fantastic last night.
Big up, Niall. Imagine I'd want a refund. Bugger off, Joey Barton. But yeah, do come on Monday if you're around for the members show. Big up, Leo. Have a lovely weekend. First one, 6 in the morning. Oh, good. By the time I get up, it'll be finished then.
Is it the 15th side dancer? I think I've got a feeling that's in my head. I don't know why.
Forget Hamilton, Jimbo. It's all about Lando Norris this year.
Yeah, I like Lando. I hope he does well.
Listen, I can't sit and watch. I watch darts at Christmas, but I don't really like it. Snooker bores the crap out of me. I can watch some golf if it's the Ryder Cup. I cannot watch cricket. I cannot watch rugby. It's all boring. Unless it's football, I'm really not that interested at all. I quite like figure skating, but only so they fall over. That's the only thing I watch it for, in case they fall.
Very nice. Oh, it's the 16th. All right.
The 16th. So there we go. And don't forget, everyone, it's Mother's Day on the end of March as well. Just saying, 30th of March. It's Mother's Day, Jimbo. Just saying.
Thank God, Mum.
No, but you've got me, and I'm a wonderful mum to your son.
All right.
But yes, thanks to everyone for watching. Don't forget to smash a like on the way out. Have a brilliant weekend.
I want to finish it.
Enjoy watching whatever sport you want to watch. And as always, come on, you Spurs. Go on, Jimbo. And
I can tell you now, right, get behind the boys and get behind Ange this weekend, because we will not lose this weekend. Come on, you Spurs.
Giving opinions with no regret, smashing the top bins, back in the onion net, talking the talk with Kate and Jim, and walking the walk, just listen in. The perfect match, Kate and Jim, getting at it. Kate and Jim are gonna smash it. Reviews, previews, opinions and laughter, mix and transfer news, it's what you're after. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match. You just got to latch onto that perfect match. Jimbo always keeps a positive spin, while Kate's Mickey has a name dropping. Gets you out of the blue like Leslie stop robbing, or she's just flip-flopping. Hell, this place is popping. The perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match. The perfect match, the perfect match, you just got to latch onto that perfect match.